everybody, and welcome back to another workout video for the 6-week Be Active West Virginia workout series. Today, I'm going to lead you through a recovery workout after we've gotten into our base and build workouts. Today, we're just going to start with a nice and easy pace to warm up with walking. So we have a 15-minute workout session here. We're gonna have a 5-minute warm-up period, a 5-minute main segment, and then a 5-minute cool down or warm down. And yeah, we'll just get right into it. Just starting with 2 minutes of walking here. We're about through 1 minute of it already. Then we'll go through the normal warm-up exercises with marches and hamstring curls or butt kicks. And then we'll go through a build-up drill. Highest intensity we are going to work at today is 70%. So we will reach that 70% in our build-up drill. And then we'll go through a warm down. We'll focus on some balance and mobility. So that's just a general overview of what we will be getting into today. Hopefully it's a nice warm day if you chose to work out outside. About 10 seconds left here. In 3, 2, 1, we'll start our marches. If you want to keep walking while you're doing your marches, feel free to do so. Or if you'd like to do them stationary, that is totally fine as well. Also, if you need something to hold on to while doing marches to help you balance, feel free to grab something as well. We're about halfway through, and then we'll move into our butt kicks. We have about 10 seconds left here. And start those butt kicks in 3, 2, 1, and we'll transition into those. I'm gonna hang here for about a minute and do these. And just remember, this move is just bringing your heel out to your butt. Again, just like the marches, if you want to do these while you continue to walk forward, that's totally fine. You can also do them stationary as well while you're just standing still. You can also feel free to go as high or as low with your heels, depending on how comfortable you are with this move as well. Going to head into our build-up drill in the next 5 seconds, and we'll start at 50%. We'll head into that. Next, we're going to transition into 60% in 3, 2, 1. Step up that intensity just a little bit. And bring it up to a 70% in 3, 2, 1. Pick it up, pick it up. We have 15 seconds here. And bring it back down into a nice, easy pace. We're going to get into our main segment in the next 10 seconds. We're going to pick up a walk adding 50% in 3, 2, 1. Again, we're going to pick up a nice and easy walk at a 50%. So you shouldn't feel like you're straining yourself too much at this pace. Should still feel relatively easy for you. That's the whole point of our recovery days. We're still working out, we're still moving our bodies, but we're just not pushing ourselves to the same extent that we would on, say, one of the later base workouts or one of the build workouts that we are getting into. Gonna stay here at 50% for the next 15 seconds. I'm gonna transition into 55% in 3, 2, 1. Step it up into that 55%. This should feel just a smidge more intense than 50%. Halfway in between about that 50% and 60%. So still not pushing ourselves too hard. You might find your heart rate starting to increase a little bit though. You might find it still kind of easy to talk to someone, especially if you're working out with a buddy. You might still be able to have a conversation with them pretty easily. But sometimes sentences might be a little bit strenuous to get out, but that's totally normal. Next, we're going to transition into 60% in 3, 2, 1. So we'll step it up into that 6 out of 10. We'll stay here for a minute as well. So pretty much for this workout, we're just going to be stepping it up in 5% intensity increments until we reach 70%. And that will consist of the main segment of this workout. So now that we're about halfway through the entirety of the workout, I want you to do a mental check and check that posture and note how it is. And then if you need to correct anything, like those shoulders, if you're finding your hips are too far forward or too far back, I want you to correct that as well and just make sure that everything is in alignment. I'm going to transition into 65%. And keep this pace going. If you feel the need to stop this workout at any point, I know we're almost done with it, but if you feel the need to pause at any point, feel free to do so. If you need to grab a drink as well, as always, feel free to just pause me and then start the video back up whenever you're ready. Another 15 seconds here, and then we'll bring it up into 70%. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step it up into that 70%. This is the last part of the main segment of our workout, and then we'll transition into the warm down. If you feel like you want to give a little bit more intensity, feel free to do so, even if it is a recovery day. I'm always a fan of wanting to push yourself a little bit more and get a little bit more out of your workouts. Just makes me feel like I accomplished something more than what I originally set out to do, and it's just a motivational factor for me. So if it is for you, feel free to use that method. We've got another 10 seconds here before we transition into our warm down. And we'll just transition into a nice, easy paced walk. We'll go into that now. We're just going to start cooling down with this walk for about the next 2 minutes or so. And then, as I said at the very beginning of the workout, when we were still in the warm-up, this warm down is just going to focus on balance and also mobility. We're going to start out with a tandem balance exercise, and we're going to move into hip open doors. I'll show that in the video, and I know we've done this exercise in a warm down a few times before, but if you need a little refresher, it's totally fine. And then this is a newer exercise, but it works a lot on lower body mobility and also a little bit of strength as well. And that is front and side taps. But again, I'll show the exercise in the video, and I'll also give a little explanation of it. But just a heads up, if you are not totally confident in your balance, or you just might need balance to help yourself out with new exercises, feel free to pause the video if you need to go find something to help you balance or hold on to while you're doing these exercises, because we will be focusing a little bit on balance. We have about 30 seconds or so before we start our tandem balance. So again, with that exercise, just going to be heel to toe. We'll have our feet in line with each other. We'll transition to the tandem balance in 3, 2, 1. So again, if you need to find a single leg balance, and we'll just be standing on one foot. Here I'm adding in some gaze shifts. We do that to add a little bit of difficulty to the single leg balance, and we'll go ahead and switch feet just so that we get that equal time on each leg, just so we keep it nice and even. Here again, I'm adding gaze shifts. You might find yourself stabilizing a bit through that ankle that you're standing on. That's totally normal. It's just your body working to keep your balance. We'll go ahead and transition into the hip open doors. Here I'm just alternating between my left and the right legs, lifting my knee up and then rotating it out towards the side. This move is just helping a little bit with that hip mobility. About halfway through this exercise. And then for the final exercise that I have, they are called front and side taps. In this exercise, you'll just be standing on one leg, and then whichever one you choose, the opposite leg will be reaching forward to tap in front of you and reaching out to the side to tap to the side. So we'll transition into that. And here I'm just staying on that left leg and tapping out in front and tapping out to the side with my right. I'm trying to keep that left leg as still as possible. This helps a lot with that left knee stability, the one that you're standing on, especially when you're tapping out in front. We'll go ahead and switch to the other side. Also can help with your hip mobility of that leg that's moving, to see how far you can stretch that out while keeping that right leg stationary. Got another 10 seconds here before we're all done with the recovery workout for today. 3, 2, 1, you're all done. Yay, congrats.